Hello Gooners, welcome to Arsenal Daily for Wednesday, March 24th, 2026. I'm coming to you with a bit of a heavy heart today after that Carabao Cup final. But we've got plenty to discuss, including the fallout from Wembley, our growing injury concerns, some international recognition for one of our defenders, and a look ahead to what's still a very promising end to the season. Let's start with Sunday's Cup final disappointment, shall we? That 2-0 defeat to Manchester City was certainly not what any of us wanted to see. Those two quick-fire goals from City's Nico O'Reilly just after the hour mark really knocked the stuffing out of us. The first one came from what has to be said was a pretty glaring error from Kepa Arrizabalaga, dropping what seemed like a routine cross right into O'Reilly's path. And honestly, this has sparked quite a debate about Mikel Arteta's decision to stick with his cup goalkeeper rather than going with David Raya for such a crucial match. It wasn't just about the goalkeeper though. Our defence, usually so solid this season, had a bit of a nightmare. Ben White and Gabriel Magalhães in particular struggled against City's attack, with William Saliba being perhaps the only starter who could hold his head relatively high after the final whistle. Our striker Victor Gyökeres has come out and acknowledged how much the defeat hurt the squad. But I love his mentality here. He's talking about using this setback as fuel for what remains a very promising campaign, both in the Premier League, where we still hold that 9-point lead, and in the Champions League, where we're facing Sporting CP in the quarter-finals. What's a bit concerning, though, is that O'Reilly from City has come out with some fighting talk, saying, "They smell blood," ahead of our crucial league clash at the Etihad on April 19th. That's going to be an absolutely massive game, where City could potentially close the gap to just 6 points with a game in hand if they beat us. But listen, there's a lot of football to be played before then. Now, on to some more worrying news, I'm afraid. Our injury crisis seems to be deepening by the day. Gabriel Magalhães has now been ruled out of international duty with what appears to be an injury picked up in the final. He becomes the 6th first-team player on our treatment table, which is the last thing we needed with such a congested April fixture list coming up. We've got that FA Cup quarter-final away at Southampton on April 4th, then those two massive Champions League legs against Sporting CP on the 7th and 15th, sandwiching a Premier League home game against Bournemouth. And then, of course, that potential title-deciding clash with City on the 19th. Having Gabriel out for any of these games would be a significant blow, especially given how thin our squad is looking right now. On a more positive note, Ben White has received his first England call-up since 2022 for the upcoming friendlies against Uruguay and Japan. Now, I know his performance in the final wasn't his best, but Gareth Southgate clearly values his versatility, particularly at right-back, where he's been filling in for the injured Jurrien Timber. It's good recognition for what has generally been another solid season from Ben. There's not much concrete happening on the transfer front at the moment, but there's plenty of speculation that Sunday's defeat might accelerate some of our summer plans. The goalkeeper situation in particular seems to be under scrutiny, and there are also questions about whether we need more depth in midfield. But look, despite the cup final disappointment and these injury concerns, we need to keep perspective here. We're still in a fantastic position in the league. We've got an exciting Champions League tie to look forward to, and there's still the FA Cup. This squad has shown incredible resilience all season, and I'm confident they'll bounce back from Sunday's setback. The next few weeks are going to be absolutely crucial though. That FA Cup trip to Southampton won't be easy, and then we've got those massive European nights against Sporting to look forward to. The squad will need to dig deep, especially with these injury problems. But if there's one thing this Arsenal team has shown under Arteta, it's character. So let's get behind the boys as they look to put that Wembley disappointment behind them and push on for what could still be a historic season. Come on, you Gunners!